Okay, so like in the last lecture, we actually talked a lot of things about this if else, nested if else. So overall, nested if else means like if you are writing any if else statement inside other if or other else part, this is called nested if else, and you can increase the degree of this nested. You can just put another if else statement inside this if else statement also, but these things actually makes the program very complex, very complex. So like in the what you can say in the real world, what is preferred more? So like simplicity is preferred more. So whenever you will go write a program, so simplicity of program is actually important, because that program should be understandable by everyone. Like you have to put comments also, and then you have to also write documentation of the program, but that's thing are at a higher level. But like you have to really write us means a good program, so that whenever you also come after 2 3 months to revisit your program, you can understand what you are talking about. So simplicity is the main thing, and to invoke simplicity, we will actually looking at a lot of things to how we can just avoid using nested if but in like some cases nested if is necessary. And when you will go to like after clearing the CMI or other exam, when you go to means you will studying about some data science problem, solving data science problem, you will be actually doing a lot of code. So overall, the coding thing that you are learning here, actually it will not be only going to be beneficial for the exams, but after the exams, when you are going to the industry, when you're going to the course and going to the industry, these things will actually be there with you always. So from that perspective, we actually discussed if else, and we saw okay, how we can make decisions, how we can make comparisons, how you can write condition inside a if else statement. Okay, next thing is the logical operator. So like these things are main, because let's say you have one condition, condition one, and you have condition two, and you want to take decision based on these two conditions. So that's why these logical operators comes into play. How you can make decisions based on two different conditions. Okay, so we will see what how we can use that. So just for now, C allows use of three logical operators. So inside C programming, actually there are three logical operators there. This is called AND operator, this is called OR operator, and this is NOT operator. Okay, so let me just explicitly draw. So these two symbol, these are together called AND operator. Okay, so these are together called AND operator. These two symbol, which is like it's a symbol in your keyboard after like just above the enter button. So you will see a just a single pipe, single straight pipe. It's called a pipe above the enter button. This is together called or operator, and there is a this exclamation mark. This is called not operator. Okay, so these things have different meanings, and we will see how we can actually join two or more conditions using these particular thing. More obviously, two of them are composed of double symbols. So like these double symbols that I'm talking about, and I'm explicitly saying that these are double symbol, because single symbol is and this single symbol actually have a different meaning. So these are called bitwise operator. Bitwise operator, and we will actually later, if the times allow, we'll see what is bitwise operator. But it's not that common as that of like and or. But bitwise operator are obviously there. And so don't like in the place of double, this double symbol, don't try to use the single symbol, because that will change the complete meaning of this logical operators. So that will be bitwise operator, and that works differently than logical operators. So that's why this is important. And the second thing is that I already told you, these things allow two or more condition to combine in an if statement. So we'll see how we can combine two condition to just make some decision. And we can sometime avoid using nested loop by using logical operators. So I also told key sometime nested if else actually become too complex to understand. That's why we will see how we can just like what is nested if else. So let's say we are just writing a if, and inside that if statement we are writing another if. Okay, so it's like two separate condition that we are writing in a separate way. So we may merge these two condition in a single if statement using logical operators. So let's see this thing with example, and let's understand the use of logical operators in the real program. Okay, So just for now, we actually saw that this is the first program. So just for now, just we saw that earlier how we can write the program for three, finding the greatest number among three given number A, B, and C. So simple thing, just you need to compare A with B. So if A is greater than B, then just compare A with the C. And if this is true, then actually A is the greatest. And if this is not true, then actually C is the greatest, because C is greater than A and A is always greater than B. So C is the greatest. So this program actually we understood yesterday, and we saw that how we can print a uh, greatest of three integers given by the user. So did any one of you try this program and try to run this program? Anyone? Hello. Okay, so you understand like how this program is working, right? Yeah. Okay, so means like it's good keyword understanding. So like just sometime just after the class, just put half an hour to just run all the program that I've been mentioning, and that's important, because you actually uh, means yes, I can show this program on my screen. I can type, but that's take a lot of time. That's why it's important. He like just write this simple code and just see how the things are working, and that will actually giving you a lot of things. So like whenever you're preparing for an exam, it's not like you just attend the lecture and sorry, you attend the lecture and you prepare the lecture after 2 3 days. So like what when I was actually doing this type of things when I was preparing for the exams. So I did not attend anything. I was preparing for myself. So whenever my class lecture was going on, so we had programming lectures and other things. I actually used to prepare those things in the class itself. So if any confusion is there, if anything is there, so I used to understand those things in the class. And after the class, I used to verify my things. Like these programs is there. So some teachers written this program. So I used to write this in my computer and see if these things are actually giving the same output that my teacher is telling or not. So like it's a good way to just grasp things very quickly, and in the long run, you will be actually getting good understanding of the things. So it's okay, you can just do that anytime. So let's say how we can combine these two if statement into a single if statement. So simple thing is there, if A is greater than B, and if somehow we can compare ki A is also greater than C, and these two conditions together imply that A is the greatest. Okay, so we have done the same thing. So you can in the next program you can see that A is greater than B. Here it's a single if statement comparison, and A is greater than C. It's the other thing, and we have joined these two things by the AND operator. Okay, so let's see how the AND operators work. Okay, so AND operators works this way. So let's say there is a single comparison statement X and there is a single comparison statement Y. Okay, so what happens? Uh, just let me put there. And okay, so AND operator, how it works, just see this way. Okay, so let's say the first statement is false and the second statement is true. So X is false and Y is true. So we are representing false by 0 and true by 1. So 0 and 1 is this means the AND operator actually gives true values only if both statement are correct. So you can see that here one statement is false, so it will give the value 0, means false. Here it will also give the value sorry, let me just write it clear way, because it's not getting. Okay, so okay, so and operator only give true values when both the statement are true. So here you can see that both the statement are false, so it will give the false statement. Here one is true but other is false, so also 0. And either first is true but second is false, so 0. But in the third case both statement are true, so that's why we'll get a value of 1. So this total condition will evaluate to true only when this first condition is also true and the second condition is also true. So that's why, let's say we given an input of A is equal to 7, B is equal to 5 and C is equal to 3. So it will make the comparison. A is greater than B. So 7 is greater than 5. So this will give a value of 1, means true. And A is greater than C. So A is greater than C, which is also true. It will give a value of 1. It means 1 and 1. So and operator give true only when both the statement are true, which is exactly in this case. That's why you will get a value of A. A is the greatest. Okay. But what would happen if, let's say C is equal to 8. So if C is equal to 8, A is greater than C, this statement is false. Okay, this statement is false. So this overall whole statement will be false. That's why this particular line of code will not run. Then what it will do, it will just go into the second if statement. Okay, second if statement it will go, and it will make the same comparison. B is greater than C, so B is also not greater than C because B is 5 and C is 8. So this statement means the next statement will also not run, and it will go to the next if statement. So C is greater than A. So C is greater than A is true. Okay, this statement is true, and C is greater than B, which is also true. So both true statement along with the AND operator give you the value of true. So this whole statement is true. This whole complete condition is true, and that's why we'll get the output of C is the greatest. So this is how the AND operator works. So AND operator will give true value only in the case when the both the condition are true. Okay. So if you have any confusion regarding this, just let me know. Or did you guys understood it correctly? Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, means here you can see that if this statement is true, then it will go and compare this statement. If this is false, then it will go to the this statement. Okay, and I don't know. Let's see this here. If you just given A is equal to 7, B is equal to 5, and C is equal to, let's say, 3, and if this statement has print out, it's not like that. This comparison will not be done. This comparison will still be done. You know this comparison will still be done. The thing is that, here the number of lines of code is less than the number of lines of code here in the first case. Okay, and this comparison will still be done. So, like B is greater than C, so this thing is true, but B is greater than A, it's not true. So this statement will not be printed, and if this is comparison will also be done, since it's not correct, this statement will not be printed. So execution of code will be go line by line, but only those statement will be printed out for which the condition is true, along with the, comparing with the AND operator. Okay. Okay, and like the same way we can also use the OR operator, but here using the OR operator will not give you an edge because OR operator works differently than the AND operator. So just let me tell you about the OR operator. So like exclusively I have included here key how the things actually go. So, this is X, so this is one condition. This is Y, the second condition. Zero means false, and non-zero means there is some. You can assume that it's a one, and non-zero means it's a true statement. Okay, so whether it's a non-zero, you can assume that it's a true statement. Okay, it's a one or true statement. So in exclusively in in computer science, we just assume that zero means false and one means true. Okay, I actually told you earlier. So just talk about this particular thing, X and Y. So I told you it will only give you the true result only when both statement are true. Okay, so that's the case. But what is with the OR statement? So OR statements actually works in a different way. Okay, so OR statement will give you a true when either of the statement is true. Okay, it's not like you only one of the statement is true. So X or Y. Okay, so this should be the one thing. Okay, so it will give you a true value. So let's say here is the X and here is Y. Okay, the 0, 0, 1, 1, and okay, so here you can see that both the statement are false. First, in the first case, so it will give a result of zero because OR operator only gives true when either means any one of the condition is true. But here you will get the value of one. Here you will also get the value of one. Here you will also get the value of one because here both a single statement is true, but this is false, so it's okay. And here also single statement is true, but this is false. But here both the statement are true. That's why in the or thing, if you are trying to use something like or, like it may sometimes happens like you want to compare between two conditions, you can say that okay, if any one of them is true, we will just proceed with the code. So in that case, you just need to use or operator. But if you are just having two condition and condition one and condition two, and if you're just trying to make some comparison between these two condition, and only you want to proceed only when the both condition are true, in that case you have to use and operator. Okay, then there is a third operator which is called not operator. Okay, not operator just simply is the what you can say, it just reverse the statement. Okay, so let's say here is 0 1. Okay, and it's a 1 second. So it's a 0 1, and you can just say that it is x. So not x, not x, what it will do, it will just simply reverse the original thing. So 0 will be reversed to 1 and 1 will reverse to 0. Okay, so that's why this overall everything is being represented here. So like not x is, you can say that not x 0 is actually reversed being 1. So this particular thing is there. So not x means if any statement is true, not x will give false, and if any statement is false, not x will give true. Okay, so in so let's just stay with this. So not 2 less than 3. Okay, so actually what will be the result of this particular thing? So 2 less than 3 actually is true, because 2 is actually less than 3, so this is true. But this it's written not 2 less than 3, so this statement will be false, because original statement is true, and taking not operator in any true statement will give out false. That's why this statement is false. Okay, similarly we can just assume that not uh, 5 greater than 7. Okay, so 5 greater than 7 is actually false, but not 5 greater than 7 means it's a true statement. Okay, overall it's a true statement. So these three operators are logical operators are there, and or not. So you'll be actually having a lot of programs in the later C book, and you can see that there are a lot of output problem given based on these things only, logical operators and other things. Okay, so if you have any questions regarding understanding this particular thing, let me know. Ivan? Okay. Okay, just let's move to the part. It's a practice problem. Okay, so just let's understand that. So let's assume that A is equal to 10, B is equal to 12, and C is equal to 0. So means you have to evaluate the following expression. So like along with this lectures, I am actually taking a lot of practice problems so that you can just get a better insight. So the first problem is A is not equal to 6 and B is greater than 5. Okay, so like to solve this type of questions, you need to actually understand the hierarchy. So like those particular time in the beginning of the lecture, I told you about the hierarchy of arithmetic operator. Okay, so those things actually are. I also saw you a list of like there were table, and there were some operators there, and there was some priority decided. But thing is that this is not like those were the only operators. So there are multiple operators in the this particular thing, and there are hierarchy within these also. Okay, so to understand this particular thing, you actually have to look at those particular table. But like one may think that if you need to remember those all table or not, so it's not like you need to remember all the tables, but the thing is that you just need to understand the whole thing. Okay, so here like there are two different things. So there is a and operator, and there are two different conditions. Okay, there are two different conditions. Okay, so A is the 10. So 10 not equal to 6. 10 not equal to 6. It's a true statement. And B is 12. Okay, so 12 greater than 5. So yes, B is 12, and 12 is actually greater than 5. So this is also true statement. And taking and between true statement will give you the true or a value of 1. Okay, that's why this particular value is 1. Okay, in next condition, you will see that it's written A double equal to 9, or B less than 3. So A double equal to 9, it's a false statement, and it's OR operator. And B less than 3. So B is the 12, and 12 is less than 3. So this is also a false statement. So two false along with OR will give you a false, which is a 0. Okay, so this way you can proceed with the each and every example. So can you guys do this after the lecture with your with on your own? Okay, so it means they're fairly simple thing. Don't not need to like this third thing, like not a less than 10. Okay, so a is the 10. So 10 less than 10 is if it's not a equality sign. So like 5 less than 5, if it's not equality sign here, so other thing can be 5 less than equal to 5. So this is true statement, but 5 less than 5 is a false statement. Okay, so this is how actually things are in the programming language. If the same number is compared to the same thing, whether it's a greater or less, it will be giving a false thing. But if it would have been equal to here, that would be the true statement. Okay, so a less than 10, if a is and a is also 10, it will give you a false, but along with the not, it will give you a true value, which means 1. Okay, so this is how you can actually run the next other thing. So for here, you can just evaluate the what the whole statement, this whole condition is, and then you can just take the reverse of the thing, because it's a not operator here. And same with the other. Okay, so this is how the things are in the conditional operator. You will actually find a lot of problems like this, and you can actually solve it using um, yeah. Mhm. Okay, so yeah, okay. So the overall statement will be 5 and C, which is 0. So let me write it 0. C not equal to 8. Sorry, C not equal to 8. So C not equal to 8 will give you value of 1, right? And yeah, yeah. You ask the right questions. And not C is equal to, and then or operator, then not C is equal to uh, 1. Okay. So here, these two different things are there. Okay. So, I actually forget to include that particular long table here. So, tomorrow I will, just include a table here, and I will just explain the hierarchy of this, and or not, because these things are important, especially you are trying to solve this type of questions. So I will just put it in my reminder list, and I will just explain the complete hierarchy table, so that we can just better look at how the things are there. Okay. Okay. So we similarly can have some output problem also. So just let's suppose here a is equal to 300, and the other statement, other integer b and c. So what will be the output of this particular code? Okay. So means since I've been explaining a lot of things, so can you guys explain it for me, like what will the output of b and c here? So do this and just let me know the answers. Okay, so like these things, this program will not be better. Let me explain this for you. So I told you ki if you are writing multiple if condition, okay, so you need to write it in the curly braces. But if you are writing only single comparison, and you are for let's say you are just forget to include the curly braces, and you just wrote multiple line of statement. So only this first statement will be taken part of the if block, and rest statement will go into the normal execution. Whether this condition is true or not, these things actually don't have any effect of that. It will go into the normal execution. Okay, so yeah, so a is greater than or equal to 400, so it's a false statement, right? So this particular line of code will not run, because only this single line of code is the part of b. Okay. Hello. and C will be assigned to C will be assigned to 200. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, I told the same thing. This first line of code will not run because only this single line of code is the part of this, like this if statement. Yeah, yeah, definitely. But this line of code will run because this is C is equal to 200, not the part of the, this is not a part of the if statement. So this value will be assigned. C is equal to 200 will be done. Uh, and like when you will try to print this value, so you will be actually getting some output. Like for CB, actually B is not initialized with any value, but you will be getting some output. So let's see what happens. So when you declare a variable in the memory, I told you just some value just stored there, and that particular thing is named as B. Okay. So thing is that if you are not initiating this value, so let's say if this statement would have been true, B is initialized with the 300. So here 300 would have been stored. But if you're not storing anything with this particular B, it will store a garbage value. Okay, that garbage value may be anything, 17268 5, any value it can be there. So those value not make sense to you, like why this value is there, and how this value came into existence. But thing is that when you try to print this statement, you will be getting something for B, which is a garbage value. A number will be there, but that will not make sense to you. Just it will be some number, random number. And for C, you will be getting the value of 200. Okay. So whenever you are just declaring a variable and you are not initializing with, and you are trying to print out that variable, you will get a garbage value. Okay, this is always there, and this is because I told you key whenever you try to store a declare a variable, that variable is declared, and if you're not initializing with any value, a garbage value is stored in that place. Okay, that's why this output will be like p will be something, any value it can be there, so it's a garbage value, and c will be 200. Okay, anyone, any problem? Hello. Okay, some other type of questions, and this is actually very much important because it so first of all, just let's see what will the output of this code. So anyone can just let me know the output of this code, whatever you just think. First output will be false. It is, and okay, okay, okay. So yeah, definitely. So like in C programming, double equal to is called comparison operator. Uh, Guys, mic is on. I think it's making some noise. So double equal to is called comparison operator, and this single equal to is called assignment operator. So like the way assignment operator and comparison operator works is actually different. So a lot of times when you write a program, you want to compare between two statement or maybe two variables. Like you by mistake write a single equal to, and if in every case this will give you a result of true. Let me tell you why. Okay, so just let understand that this particular statement a double equal to b, it's comparing 12 with 14. Okay, 12 with 14, which is actually a wrong statement. Okay, so this will be giving a value of 0, which is false. So this statement will not run. Okay, but in the second if statement a is equal to b, so it's an assignment operator. Okay, the assignment operator means whatever the value of b is, it will get assigned to a. Okay, so what is the b? B is equal to 14. B is equal to 14. So eventually after this condition is run, it means a is equal to 14, and a is equal to 14 means any positive number. I told you other than 0, any non-negative integer is actually true statement. That's why it will be here, the value only will be the 14, because a is equal to b and b is the 14. So a is equal to 14, it means it's 14, so it is always true. So it does not matter whatever the value of a or b you take here, it will be always a true statement. That's why you need to understand the difference between the comparison operator and assignment operator. Many a time you will just, like it will happen that you will just by mistake you just put single equal to in place of double equal to, and it will just put you into the illusion that your statement is your program is running correctly. It is running correctly, but the way you are understanding is the wrong, because you are thinking that yes, it's comparing between a equal to b, but what it is doing, it just assigning the value of b to the a part. Okay. And if we're comparing, if a and a is a positive number, it's always going to be a true statement. It's never going to be false. That's why here it just you will be getting the output of this particular thing. Okay. So that's good thing. It just whenever you are trying to writing a program, you are just making any comparison between two operators, two variables, just don't put single equal to here. So that's different thing. It's entirely different thing. Your program is correct. Your program is correct by the syntax, but it's not the way you are trying to. It's not correct by the way you are trying to interpret the variable. Okay. The next thing is that this particular printf statement is there. So like when you try to print a equal to b, this will give you the value of, what it will give. Anyone? So sorry, sorry. Yeah, 14. You will give the value of 14. Okay, because b is equal to 14 here, and since a is assigned the value of 14, so it will print out 14. Okay. And if you would have tried to print out a double equal to b, you would have given the value of 0, because this statement is false. And if it would have been true, you have got the value of 1. Okay. No, no, no. If like if it's a double equal to b, so if say single equal to b, and a is also 14 and b is also 14, so it will still get a value of 14. But I'm telling you, if it's a, yeah, in that case it will be 1. So it's important, many time in the, especially with the beginners, it happens that we actually made a lot of wrong comparison operator with assignment operator. So good things that know, and these things are just a slight difference, and you still need to pay a lot of attention to find out the real output of the program. If it's something different like this is there in the code. There's some more things there. So like I actually have this particular thing that I told you what is the hierarchy among these particular things. Okay, so this is the table that I was talking about, and like earlier we had this particular thing, and this particular thing. Sorry, this assignment operator was there. Okay, so now we also have some other hierarchy operator also. Okay, so here the code is a is equal to 5. So a is equal to 5 here. Then there are other statement b and c, and the thing is b is equal to a is equal to 15, and the second thing is c is equal to a less than 15. Okay, so you need to write the print the value of a, b, and c. Okay, so simple thing. This is just the assignment operator. So this will just means after this statement is done, a is 15, which is uh, there, and b is also 15. Okay, b is also 15. So initially a was initialized with 5, but later we just we change this particular thing with the 15. So it may happen that whenever you are just initializing any variable with some other variable, and after the some code run you want to change that particular variable into some other value, you can do that. And what happens that in the memory, like initially if you have initialized with the 5, a is there, and 5 is stored in the memory, and a is assigned with the 5. Okay, but if you do change it to 10, just 10 will be just being be there, and 5 will be just erased, and a is now assigned to the 10. Okay, so this is how the things actually go in the memory. So here you can just see that a is equal to 15, b is equal to 15 after this particular statement, and this is c is equal to a less than 15. Okay, so a less than 15, what is it? So you can see that this particular less than comparison operator is higher in hierarchy, then this particular assignment operator. So obviously this particular statement will get run first. This particular statement, okay, because this is the higher in the hierarchy, and assignment operator is the lowest in the hierarchy. Okay, so higher in the hierarchy actually get run first. Okay, so a less than 15 means a less than 15. So what is a? A is equal to 15, obviously, and a less than 15. So if you compare 15 less than 15, it will the same thing. Okay, so it's the same thing, but it's a false statement. If it would have been equal to, then it would have been true statement, otherwise it's a false statement. So we'll get a value of what you can say, 0 is there, because this statement is false. A less than 15 is false, and C will be assigned the value of 0. Okay, because this evaluates to 0, this particular thing is evaluates to 0, and C will be assigned whatever the value of this, what you can say, this right hand side is. Okay, so C is the 0. So when you try to print the this particular thing, you will getting the value of A, which is 15, value of B, which is 15, and value of C, which is 0. Okay, so this thing will be there. So like this thing, you just need to understand this comparison operator. Any problem, anything? Hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Because like C is equal to means this particular statement is there, and by the means of hierarchy, we know that whatever comes in the top hierarchy means this particular thing, comparison operators are in the top hierarchy. So these things will run first. So A less than 15 will run first, and whatever the value is, it will be assigned to C. Okay. So we know that A is 15 only, and 15 less than 15 is the means it's a false statement, because in the programming language know that, and false evaluates to 0. Okay, that's why C will be assigned the value of 0. That's why we'll get C the 0. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So like this whole whatever the output of C is, I mean value of C is depends upon whatever this condition evaluates to. Okay, like it would have in a multiple statement also, like C equal to A less than 15, and B less than, sorry, B equal to 15. So this could have been also something like this. Okay, so this is also there. It could have been there also. So whatever the condition this evaluates to, whatever this condition evaluates to, and after that put the AND operator, and then evaluates the result, and then whatever the result is, that assign it to the C. So same thing is there. Okay, because you can see that uh, these things are means and is the lower in hierarchy. So and is lower in hierarchy means this comparison will be done first. So this comparison will be done first, this comparison will be done first, and then this is double equal to, and then whatever the results will be, it will be just evaluated by the and operator, and then you will just get the result. Okay. Hello. So this is now the you can say that this is the new hierarchy list, we hierarchy table we have, and in the top it is the logical node. So it just change the original value, but it's acquired the top in the list. And then we have the arithmetic and modulus, then we have the other arithmetic operators, plus minus, then we have this relational operator, especially the comparison operator are there, less than equal to, or greater than equal to. And then we have other relational operator, double equal to, means other comparison operator, this double equal to, not equal to. And then we have and, then we have or, and then at the end we have the assignment operator. Okay, so this is the new list, and you can just evaluate to any what you can say, any operators, any operations along with this chart, and you will solve just 2 3 questions, will just be automatically adjusted to what these things are actually saying. Okay, so we just discussed the logical operator. So now just let's discuss the conditional operator. So we have been discussing a lot of operators. So till now we have arithmetic operator, we have logical operators, and now we have conditional operator. Okay, so logical operators, conditional operators is actually like it's. I told you that there are three different way we can make decision inside a C programming. The first is if statement, then if else is there, and then the other is conditional operator. Okay, So conditional operator is also there, and this is also used to make a decision. Especially, like if you want to make some quick decision rather than writing a lot of if else code. That's why this conditional operator is important. Okay, so let's see how this conditional operators evaluates how this comparison operators is written. So comparison operator is written in the three way. Okay, means just the three component are there. The first is the expression one, and then there is a this question mark sign, then the expression 2, then there is a like this particular sign what it calls to, and then the expression 3. So what it means that if expression 1 is true, then the value will be, if its value is non-zero, if it's true, means overall if it's a true, then this particular line of code will return the expression 2 as the result. Okay, so this expression 2 is the result, and if expression 1 is false, it will result, it will just return expression 3 as the result. Okay, so just like it's a sometimes called ternary operators, because these things are it's not like everyone is using the conditional operator, but for the sake of knowledge inside the C language, uh, it is being known to us. Okay, so just simple thing is there, some values, some condition is there. If condition evaluates to true, then just print whatever it is in this place, and if it's a false, then print whatever it is in this place. And these three things are actually separated by, first is the question mark, and second is the uh, colon. Okay, so these things are being separated by these two things. So just let's see this condition. You can see that this condition is being separated by a question mark, and these two values are being separated by this particular column. Okay, so x greater than 5. Okay, and let's say the user input the value of x as 7. Okay, so 7 greater than 5 is true. Okay, so if it's a true statement, we know that it will be given the value of 3. So y will be assigned with the 3, and we will try to print the y, we will get the value of 3. Okay, but if let's say x is 4, so 4 greater than 5 is false. So this particular thing will not be taken into consideration. This particular thing is taken into consideration. So whatever the value is, which is 4, it will be get assigned to 5, and we will try to print the y. We will get the value of 4. Okay. So this is the simple expression, simple conditional operators. This is a simple way that these things works. The simple thing is that if the condition expression one, expression two, expression three are separated by three things, this question mark and the colon. The second important thing is that whenever the condition one is true, the value will be whatever it is in the expression two. And the third thing is that whenever the condition one is false, it will be the condition three. The value will be condition three. Okay. So this is how a simple if else statement is getting written in the single line of code. Any problem, guys? Okay, so like I told you, this particular thing you can just like a particular if statement can be changed into this way. So let's say like this particular thing is what this particular thing is saying, if x is greater than 5. Okay, so if x is greater than 5, just assign the value of y is equal to 3, or else what you need to do, assign the value of y is equal to 4. And this particular thing means this particular thing overall can be written in this if else statement with a 4 line of code. So you can see that this conditional operator actually allow you to convert a if else statement into just like simpler or single line of code. Just you need to reduce the line, but the meaning is the same. But it's not like we can always use the conditional operator. Since you just it now seems that conditional operator are better because it reduces the multiple line of code into just single line of code. So it's not entirely true. The thing is that we can only write a simple instruction. Let's say after if a statement is true, you want to write 100 line of code. You don't want to write 100 line of code, because in the real world it happens when you are trying to make a software, you are trying to like writing code to data science problem. So if any statement is true, you want to evaluate some 100 line of code. That particular thing you can't do with the conditional operator. The single simple thing is that you can just write a single line of code, whatever the single line of code is. You can't write just multiple line of code here. Just it's incorrect. Okay, it will be incorrect. Okay, so it will give you out an error. That's why this conditional operator is not like not taken into consideration in the long run. If you want to have some simple operators, you can just pick it up. If you want to write some complex thing, let's say 100 or 10 line of code or 20 line of code, these things will not help you out. Okay, that's why this conditional operator, in spite of being so useful, actually don't like don't get into the picture in the long run. So simple thing you can just evaluate it using this way. Rather, you can just next other thing you can't do this. Okay, so some other thing about the conditional operator is that it is not necessary that a conditional operator should be used only in the arithmetic statement. So like you may write here printf statement also. So it is not like just write to print three. You can also write if this condition is true, you can just write printf, and you can just want to print some message like message maybe you are good. So you can also try to do these type of things also. Okay, so this thing will be separated by O, and this will be separated by semicolon. Some condition will be there and some other statement will be there. So it's not like you to just give three, just give four, or give anything else. You can also print out some statement, but if you are printing out some statement, just don't put anything here, because these things, like b is equal to something. If it's a printf statement, it will not return something. Okay, so these things don't make sense. Okay, so just write a simple statement. If you want to print out something, just write a printf statement here, and you can do that also. It's not like you need to write only a conditional operator. The second thing is that the conditional operators can be nested. So these things further can be nested. Okay. So let's say you are writing some statement, 5 is greater than 3. Okay. If it's true, okay, if it's true, what you need to do, you need to make another comparison. If you want to make another comparison, you can just make another comparison. So you can just say that just like here you can see it, A is greater than B. So if it's a true, what you need to see, you make another comparison. If A is greater than C, if A is greater than C, then print out 3. If it's not, then print out 4. Okay. But if A is greater than B is not true, then just go to this particular condition. If B is greater than C, then just print out 6. And if not, print out 8. So these particular things can be there, can be into the picture. So, like a lot of questions can be asked based on that. So let's say the in the questions it's given that A is equal to, let's say, 10, and B is equal to 3, and C is equal to 5. So what will be the output of this program? So now you have to simulate this whole program with the basis of this value. So A equal to 10 and B equal to 5. So 10 is greater than 3. So this statement is correct. Now it will come to this particular thing, because this is the nested. This particular thing is the nested, and there is another, what you can say, another conditional operator within this thing. So now A is 10 and C is 5. So 10 greater than, sorry, B is C is 5. Okay, 10 greater than 5 is also true. So you will give an output of 3. So this is how the instruction will be given, and based on that, some values will be given, and we have to evaluate the whole scenario based on this value and this particular thing. Okay, so this is how a nested conditional operator works. And I already described you the like a limitation of conditional operator, that only one C statement will be there, and that's the whole thing. So guys, any problem, any questions we have till now? Okay, so we'll just proceed with some there is only two slides are there. Just let me just finish those two slides, and so that we just complete if else part, and just we can quickly switch into the loop part from the next class. Like I saw the questions of CMI, found that most of the questions, almost all the questions, are either from the loop section or from the function part, function array. That's why we need to cover these things quickly, so that we can just get into the function loop things quickly, and we can just solve a lot of questions related to the paper. So I just try to find out. So these type of questions you'll find out in the latest ebook, and a lot of questions are there. A lot of questions can be framed in the future, but these things are good and need to aware of. And but the particularly questions that have been asked, it actually belongs to loop, function, and array. So we will quickly see into these things, and we'll see solving the rest of the questions there. Okay, so like there are a lot of different problems there. Actually, I think we already solved this problem. So there are other problems there also. So just let me discuss this problem. So like it's written that x is equal to 3 here, which is an integer, and y is equal to 3.0, which is a float. Okay, and we are comparing x double equal to y. Okay, so like it may sounds that 3 and 3.0 should be different, because this is a float and this is an integer. Okay, so when you are trying to compare any float with an integer in the C programming, what it happens that in the programming world in general, what it happens that it what it will do, if it's an integer, it will just change it into the float. So first thing is that x is equal to 3 will be changed into 3.0, 3.0. Okay, and obviously then it will be made the comparison. So 3.0 is actually equal to the 3.0. So this statement is true. Okay, so it's a common thing when we're trying to comparing with int with, in the float into with a float. The first thing which will happen that it will just change the integer into float. So it will be 3.0, and if you compare these two value, it will be equal. So that's why you will be getting an output x and y are equal. Okay. So this thing is important because you are trying to compare any integer with any float. So that's why this thing is important. The next thing is that let's see the output of this particular code. X is equal to 3. Actually, this is the same way I explained the letter part. Okay. So y is equal to x is equal to 10. Okay. So y here is initialized with 10. X is also been changed into 10. And now z is equal to x less than 10. So same thing is there, just you will be getting a false statement. So z is equal to 0. Okay. So same thing is there that I explained earlier in the code. So these things are actually part of later C program. You can just go and solve a lot of, at least you can solve a lot of output problem just because these things are actually area of interest for you. Okay, so this is some program that you can write on your own. So obviously, this is also part of this C book, and since you now know if else part, a lot of conditional operators, so these things you can try to make some complex program. So like the program is to write a program to check whether a triangle is valid or not. So when the three angles of triangles are entered through the keyboard, a triangle is valid only if the sum of all three angles is equal to 180 degree. Okay, so you'll be given obviously angle one, then angle two, then angle three, and based on that, you just need to add those things and compare with 180. Okay, uh, sorry, it's compared double comparison with 180. So these things are fairly simple thing that you can do. Second thing is given 3 point x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y2, write a program to check if all the 3 points fall on a one straight line. Okay, so like let's say this is a point x1 y1, this is point x2 y2, and this is program point x3 y3. Okay, so how you check if this 3 point line on a single line? Simple things that just try to calculate the slope using this 2 point, and then try to calculate the slope using this 2 point. So like if it's the same line, if these things are on the line, same line, the thing is that slopes would be same. But if the things are that one is the this line and the other point is on the this line, then the slopes would be different. So you can just do that by comparing the slope of this particular two things. So slope I think will be formula will be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So these things you can do and compare to get the desired result. Mhm. So it would not be exclusive to write program, but there is subjective section in the C also. Sorry, in the CMI exam also. So exam is divided into two parts: objective plus subjective. So sometimes it happens that you will be finding questions from the subjective part to write some simple, means, convert something into a simple code or pseudo code. So pseudo code is actually may follow the C syntax or may also follow the pseudo code syntax. The pseudo code means your semicolon, this type of mistake will not be taken into consideration. Only your logic will be taken into consideration. So like you are making things like you're not able to write a semicolon, you just skip semicolon sometimes, you just forget curly braces sometimes. So these things will not taken into consideration. But whatever the logic you are applying to build a program, that will be taken into consideration. So yes, since there is subjective part, so I think there are questions from the C programming, the subjective part, that is actually you need to write some code. But I have to see. But as far as I remember, I think there are some questions in the subjective part that you need to write some code. Anyone has to be? Is anyone confirmed about it? Okay, so I think there is some code that is need to be asked in the subjective part. Okay, that's why these things are important. Like we have to do for the objective and subjective part together. So just it's okay to write some program so that you can, if asked, you can write those. Because like it may happen that till now there has not been asked any questions like that. But since it's expecting that programming and to understand the pseudocode, it also assume that you can also write some pseudocode by your own. That's why it's important to just spend a little time writing some program also. Is it okay? Mhm. No, no, it will not be any problem. There will not be any problem. But like I told, C is the good thing, but pseudocode is you have some flexibility. Just you can escape semicolon and this type of thing. You just don't need to stick with any particular thing. But whatever the like the examiner is checking, it will just try to conclude with your logic. Okay, so whatever your logic is, that your answer will be evaluated based on that particular thing. Okay, so I think this is the end of the slide, and today we discussed, and today to yesterday lecture we discussed a lot of things related to financial statement. So since I'm discussing a lot of problems, I told in the especially the CMI course, you will find a lot of there are a lot of questions on the loop and function side. So just if things are fine till here, we'll now proceed with the loop and just try to complete that also within maybe two lectures, because loops are not that particularly difficult. You just understand the syntax and all those things. And meanwhile, we'll also keep discussing some questions like the way we discussed here in the, like we discussed here, and some other questions we discussed, some other different type of things that discussed like comparison operator and this assignment operator. So we will keep discussing these type of things, and the things that you just I will share this recording and slide. Try to prepare well, try to run some code also if you are in the beginning stage. If you also already know some programming, that's good thing. Just you can we'll discuss some more thing when we just proceed with the course. Okay, so uh, just 1 minute.